Welcome to Bugsnax, a game all about collecting little snacks, recruiting allies and friends, and most of all, finding the mysteries of the land. And today, you're gonna see how I 100%ed it. Yay, we're done! Before getting too into this, these videos could take a pretty long time to make, so if you do enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new, as it really helps and is super appreciated. I also stream every one of these videos over on Twitch. Starting up, we're seen flying over the infamous location, Snacktooth Island. Yet the intensity of a thunderstorm isn't the only thing we have to worry about. God, oh my god, that scared me so badly. Getting up after falling off our ship, we had to find a way to some safety, and also go through the basic tutorial of how to move and traverse the lands. As I ran swiftly across a collapsing bridge, I made my way into the forest, and I really like to explore every part of an area just to make sure I don't miss anything that could be hidden. Yeah, no, I think so as well. It's got a lot more achievements. I'm stuck. I'm completely stuck. The game just started, man. So one restart later, and we made sure to pass these bushes of doom and despair this time. And when approaching the ladder, the same creature that knocked us off our ship turned out to be one giant Mothra pizza. So strong that the gust of wind from its flight through our deck off balance as we fell unconscious and got a video flashback. Getting to meet the person who put all of this together, Lizbert Megafig, the adventurer who is here to explore and uncover all these untapped lands, and also her partner Agabel. Once finishing our Lizbert introduction, we continued the flashback with our boss C. Clumby Clumbernut, as we are a journalist, and she really does not want us to leave to some fake sounding island just for an interview with Lizbert. But of course staying there wasn't happening, as I woke back up again in the present day with a very tiny and very adorable strawberry thing looking at us. Getting up, we quickly found a barely conscious Grumpus as he lied there in a state of complete starvation. To begin helping him, it was time for more of a tutorial with our snack scope, a scanner used for information about a snacks, and also these purple arrows to show you its pathing. As we learned, the little creature from before is called a Strabby. Finishing up that, we could grab our first piece of utility in the snacks trap, which can be thrown down on the pathing and then waiting for it to emerge from the bushes to capture it up, and also making sure to grab the trap before allowing it to escape, giving us our first achievement. Feeding the Strabby to Filbo, I very soon learned that Grumpuses that eat Bugsnax will then turn into the Bugsnax. But we weren't done there, as we needed to catch just a few more snacks and continue transforming Filbo with more strawberries and also a carrot arm. Progression was going pretty quickly as we explored behind a waterfall and then met back up with Filbo to help us move more forward, as he informed us that there's a very high chance that we won't get to meet with Lizbert back in town. But we did get to meet the next Grumpus with Wambus the farmer, who was pretty against going back to town with us and was content with just staying here with his crops. And with a little more pushback, Filbo ended up being sauced and then attacked by the best creature ever, a Bunger. Although we could start doing some favors for Wambus to now convince him to join us. First things first, we get a new tool with the slingshot, and can also collect ketchup from ketchup plants. And because Bungers love ketchup, they'll follow it wherever it's shot, and we could capture the foul, untamed beast that it was, which was slowly cracking Wambus as he was now thinking about joining us. But first he wanted a Friday, which does stay out of our range. But we can splash our traps with the sauce to be able to bait Bugsnax over, giving Wambus a french fry arm, as it was now time for some shishka bugs, which are timid creatures and will hide, but unlike the Strabby, won't come out of the bushes by itself. But saucing said bush will cause nearby Bungers to attack them and scare the Bugsnax out, allowing us to capture them and give Wambus some new leggings. And easily one of the best parts of this game is hearing all the Bugsnax sound effects while you're out. Yeah! And the last thing Wambus wanted was revenge on the bungers. But they're too rowdy for our trap, so we instead had to net them, which can be done with any stunned creature. But actually stunning the bunger was the challenge. I tried to make it run into the trees or the walls as well, just to knock itself out while it charges, with no success. But maybe their love for ketchup will even overpower their need to stick together, as we could get these two to charge into each other for a clean and easy stun. There you go, here's your bunger. That's a fucking curly fry. I want to see that buzz. Sorry. And that was all the tasks we needed to help Wambus as we convinced him to join us back to where we're going, and also got to meet the next Grumpus.
Like, oh my god, is this squeeb really talking to me right now?
Not a squeeb.
It says right here on my snack scope, Filbo, personality type, squeeb. Skills, none. Friends, none.
This is Beffica, the snitch and drama queen, and probably my second favorite Grumpus here. With her help, we could grab our journal, which displays a lot of information, like a Bugapedia, clues we'll find along the way, Grumpedia, my inventory, quests and objectives, our map, and our tools and more important items. Another thing I also love is your loading screen displays all the Bugsnax you've caught so far, meaning it really fills up over time. As we then made it to Snacksburg, an absolute ghost town that we would have to repopulate. And with no Lisbert, it looks like we were grabbing our first of many interviews with Filbo. Thoughts on Bugsnax?
Oh, they're great. I mean, they taste good and they make everybody happy, so what's not to love?
Why come to Snacktooth Island?
Well, Lisbert asked me to tag along, so I dropped everything and here I am.
Asking a few more questions, we learned that Lisbert went out one day and just never came back. And with the head of Snacksburg being gone, the stability of all his patrons didn't last, as they left to go and do their own thing. I could head back to the Garden Grove though to get Beffica to come back to Snacksburg. Task 1 was just scanning the rest of the Bugsnax here with the weenie worm and a white strabby, which was an easy chore. We then needed to feed her favorite snack, which we already had on us, and then hit a roadblock as Beffica wanted some dirt on Wambus, which was mainly just a problem as said dirt can only be found at midnight, so we moved on from now just to let the time pass, and found our ship crash landed just outside of Snacksburg, and also grabbed our interview with Wambus. Filbo said he had a wife. Where is she?
Filbo needs to shut his grumpin' mouth. Triffany is off somewhere poking at skeletons. None of my dang business.
His theory on what happened to Lisbert is she got trapped under supposedly common earthquakes, or even fell into the volcano on the island. But concluding the interview, we got a new clue about some strange contraption somewhere. And after all that, we unlocked a new area with simmering springs, which we were instantly introduced to a new anonymous Grumpus. A scientist who explained the process of Grumpuses turning into snacks is through something called snackification. And with a new snackavator, we can now choose which body part we want to turn, which was all for now as we met Wiggle, the singer of the group. And if you weren't aware, the other guy's name is Gramble, who is more of a snack catcher and trainer and very opposed to eating any of them. I'd start off with helping him first as we got to meet the best companion yet, Sprout the Strabby, which we could guide around through a track for Gramble and even get to keep him afterwards. Next was catching his peel bugs, which tend to hide inside smaller trunks or caves. But setting a trap down, we could easily use Sprout to push the bugs out of their holes and return them back to Gramble. A Queeble? What are you meant to be? What? I now needed to bring said Queebles back to Gramble, but this time I couldn't use a trap, although I can spray Sprout with chocolate sauce and guide them around to make the Queeble follow us back. And while on the way, we ended up uncovering this Pinantula and grabbed it, as it looked like something pretty annoying to grab another time. But that was all we needed to do for Gramble to join us back in Snacksburg. And while messing around with some of the other snacks, I somehow ended up capturing 2 at once for an easy achievement. We have, what's her name? Bailey? Grumpus? Giggle. We have Giggle down there. I knew it was just a word. Can't remember what word. No, Wiggle! God damn it. Now it's time for Wiggle, who needs some inspiration for new music with a Pinantula hairdo. Next, we needed a grape skeeto. Snacks that do not land, but splashing another snack with sauce. We could bait it down, as once it eats it, it becomes too fat to fly away for a few seconds. And we could give Wiggle just a straight up grape for a hand. But her next request wasn't available for us to do now, so instead, with it being late, it seems like a good time to go get that dirt on Wambus, as he was just farming, which didn't really seem out of character. He actually wanted us to plant some Bugsnax to see if they reproduce this way. And going to see Beffica again, that clearly wasn't the dirt she wanted, as there's no conversation prompt. But I did learn that we can donate Bugsnax to Gramble's ranch and even pet them while inside. Weeble. I really needed to get to the desert, but the path was still blocked off. There was this locked door at the beach that I couldn't open just yet, but if I placed Sprout on the other side of it, maybe they could be a pal and just lockpick the door for us, which I don't know why I thought would work or why that would be the solution, but we just ended up trapping him on the other side. But thankfully, when we reload an area, he will go back into our inventory. So going back to Snacksburg, we instead grabbed our interview with Gramble. Who are you?
Gramble Giggle Funny. I look after all the Bugsnax in town and make sure they don't wander off.
What happened to Lisbeth?
Sometimes I wake up at night and I'm out of bed, lost in the woods. I think I see Lisbeth out there watching me like a vengeful spirit.
Concluding the interview, we would get a key, which I instantly took over to the beach to try and open the door again. But with further inspections, this is alas just a diary key.
Hey!
It sounds like your heart has grown, and so has your inventory space. Ooh, keep donating to keep growing.
Ramble?
Nice.
Hey!
Thank you, Gramble. So nothing else really available for now. I decided to head off to bed and could now catch Wambus and his dirt, as we found out he talks to a cactus copy of his absent wife. And informing Beffica was the last thing we needed for her to come back to Snacksburg. And with her gone, I could also take her diary, which happened to be an achievement. And with so many Grumpuses back, Filbo wanted to throw a party. A very awkward party.
Welcome to the party, Wambone.
We are not friends. Bugsnax will never love you.
You don't know a thing about love. That's why your wife left you.
God.
Violence to you.
Towards the end of the party, we got to try our first Bugsnax, which we seemed to be very allergic to. And exploring a little more of the houses, we could find our first video diary, which just went more into the relationship between Lisbeth and Eggabell. Then going to collect more snacks, we found the most snack-looking thing ever with just a literal bag of pretzels. But we could finish Wambus's quest to plant his snacks, which unlocked us a mailbox and a house with a floor and maybe 4 planks around said floor. But the mailbox is where we would collect decorative items that we get when completing quests to try and bedazzle this place up a little bit. Although the desert path was at least open up now as we made our way into the Scorched Gorge and could meet another Grumpus with Cromdo. But before him, we needed to help Wiggle as she wanted some pop ticks. But as they are now, we can't grab them with our trap, which is where the Scorpino comes into play, which shoots fire that can be used to cook the pop ticks into some trappable popcorn. A very annoying process to try and do, as the Scorpino even attacks my traps, setting them on fire to very quickly be broken. But thankfully I could throw it in the water and just instead had to wait for the poptic to travel all the way through its pathway to finally capture it. And now we could meet Cromdo, who instantly tried selling us the bridge that we may have accidentally broken when capturing the poptics. So it was instead time to do him some favors, as he gave us a new launch pad to use so that we could clear up and fix his windmills. I was able to jump all the way over with the pad, but couldn't really do anything from there until I realized that I can actually launch over Sprout as well to get all the webbings cleared up. After that, Cromdo wanted some cheap poofs, snacks that don't ever touch the ground. So instead, we had to use the launch pad to absolutely dunk on these guys. Go away, Bunger. Today's not the day for this. Oh, give me that before you fall. Bunger. No way. No idea that was an achievement. With all that, we could give Chromdo some cheesy and poofy arms, as the next thing he wanted was a sweet frieder. But while looking for one, I ended up getting a little distracted with a new area. There was this cracked wall that we could obviously smash open if we baited in a charging snack. And inside there are a bunch of ancient drawings over the walls, with one I could even recognize with it being the big pizza from before, but couldn't really make any connections with it. Triffany the archaeologist and Wambus's wife was also over here, as it was time to get her to come back to Snacksburg too. She wanted to find out which snacks were being consumed by these bones that she found, as she sent us to capture ribblepedes, another snack that sticks to walls. It could only be baited down with some hot sauce. But while looking for some, I found another cracked wall and got it opened up as well, which led into some ruins and just a few shy weenie worms. Back to the ribs though, we could easily capture all of them up and give Triffany some ribby legs. She then wanted us to open up the painting cave, which we already did, and then eat a weenie worm, which we already had on us, and that's all Triffany needed to bring her back to Snacksburg. And back to the sweet frieder for Chromdo, it was an awkward catch with this constant gust of wind that was going on, just blowing everything away. I tried to bait it down with some sauce, but that wasn't really working all too well, and even ended up just walking into this crevice and getting completely stuck. But thankfully, Sprout the absolute goat was just able to push us out and back to freedom, which right after we hit this combo on the frieder to capture him up in time. But next, Chromdo wanted something more, which we just didn't have access to for now. You're back.
Had to come by and pick up supplies. Is that a new garden you got there?
Yep. Are you gonna stay for long?
Now give me a kiss, you hot dish.
Aww.
Welcome home, Triffy.
After the sweet reunion, it was now interview time. What happened to Lisbeth?
You know, out here, it's only a matter of time before you fall in a hole or get wedged in a crevice. Especially with all these earthquakes shifting the geography around. Not to be morbid, but it could be 1,000 years before somebody finds where Lisbeth wound up.
Once we finished interviewing Triffany, she handed us a locked journal that she found, and that we actually had the key to, revealing half of a clue to some pressure plate puzzle. And next up, we also interviewed Beffica. Welcome to Snacktooth Island.
I'm here on vacay. Unrelated fun fact, did you know that no international laws apply out here?
Any info on Lisbeth?
What don't I know about Lizbert? Wink. Liz is smart and fearless, and she can see the talent in all of us. It's impossible not to look up to her. She's practically invincible. But she does have one weakness. Eggabell. Liz would go to the end of the world and back to make her happy.
Finishing up with Beffica, we could get another key for a cabinet in Lisbert's house for our next video diary. Diary number 2 is mostly just Eggabell not feeling good enough for this world, or for this work that she was doing, pretty much. And back to Wiggle, we could give her some pom-pom feet, which is probably my favorite snack design, and bring her back to Snacksburg too. Where Filbo wanted to gather everyone around the fire again, as we had a few more Grumpuses joining us this time.
There's really something stalking me, watching me from the shadows. Keeps me up at night.
I've seen something similar up on top of the canyon.
Hey, buddy, would you mind picking up some firewood? It's over by the mill.
What was that? I saw something.
Time out. I gotta use a little grumpstrom.
Now hold on. You saying Grumpuses turn cannibal?
You're gonna scare me snackless. Ah! Dog Grump! Is somebody gonna check on Filbo?
Let go of Filbo! Damn, attacked in the toilet, that's rough.
Oh,
Reveal yourself!
Sorry, I got a little too spooked, and I came here to calm down.
Who's in the bathroom?
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Grump and Snacks, it's coming for us.
I said she's coming for us! Yeah, she's gonna get us. Oh.
No need to freak out. It's probably just something safe.
Sound came from the mill. Maybe there's a trail we can follow?
The dude up here.
Chandlo?
Whoa, it's Philbo! And somebody new. Hey, how are you?
And with that beautiful discovery, we could finish up our little campfire meeting. Grandpa was busy trying to make another sprout replacement, but needed some help in the training department, which is probably one of my favorite missions in the game to do, as it was also time for a Wiggle interview. So your juice isn't flowing.
Well, no hit can stay on top forever. And I'm afraid the audience didn't care for Wiggle's World or Wiggle Baby One More Time. I've been accused of being a one-hit wiggle.
What happened, Lizbert?
That night, when Liz went missing, I ran into the woods looking for her. But instead, I found something terrifying, towering over the trees. The queen of Bugsnax. Her screech was deafening, and I ran for my life.
Concluding our time with Wiggle, we got another clue with a map pointing to the last place she saw Lizbert. But after all those scary stories we just listened to, the bridge was now down, allowing us into the Sugar Pine Woods to grab a Bopsicle for Grumdo. An ice snack that freezes you when they're touched, and they really like freezing you. But scanning this Charmiller, we could see it likes chocolate. So covering the Bopsicle in chocolate, we could attract the flames to the ice and get rid of them both, capturing up some little baby Bopsicles once they were ready. I also found Chandlo and Snorpy up here hanging out. But back to Grumdo, we could give him his Bopsicle feet to walk through the hot sands and bring him back to Snacksburg for an interview. Why did you leave town?
Yeah, I tried to make use of what Lizbert didn't need anymore, and Bethica didn't like that. Yeah, she went and told everyone that I'm a thief.
Weren't you stealing?
I was salvaging. That's a community service, pal. But Bethica planted evidence in my hut. Said I stole her diary. So I did what any honest grump would do. I ran.
Any info on Lizbert?
Oh, don't get me started. Everyone here thinks she's so great, such a fantastic leader. But I know the truth. She came here to stroke her ego and get Eggabell her fix. The rest of us were just disposable. That's Elizabeth Megafig. When push came to shove, she abandoned us.
What do you mean?
I gotta confess, I was thinking about sailing home after things got hairy. But when I went looking for our boat, it was gone. There's only 2 grumps missing. You do the math. I bet Liz and Egg are living large in New Grump City by now.
And with that all finished up, we get another map for Lizbert's boat location. Then Bethica wanted some dirt on Wiggle now. But before that, I realized where the location of the first map was, so I went to go retrieve it. Oh? What was that? Ah, god damn it. We could find Lizbert's stash on the map while also questioning just what that thing was. My opinion when seeing this, that is Lizbert who has gone completely crazy and just became half grump, half snack. But moving on from that, we caught a honeybee which locked in our 25th species, and then also grabbed some fertilizer to continue helping Wambus with his Bugsnax growing.
Get me a Bugsnax so delicious that Triffany would die for it, and we'll trade. Then we'll split the profits 50-50.
Did he say 15?
I clearly said 50.
And with the night upon us, it's time to find Wiggle's dirt. Is he gonna eat one of his bugs? Oh no, what is his name? Grumble? Ramble.
Come on, Queeble. Don't be shy. Come on, come on. Wiggle needs a midnight snack.
Wiggle!
Darling!
Oh my god, that was
What are you doing
loud.
here?
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm just looking to spend some time with Gramble. Alone.
Damn, Wiggle. I'm disappointed in you. I liked you. And once we let in Bethica on the drama, she wanted to know what it is Chromedale does late at night next.
Get up, everybody. Come on and do the wiggle with me. Do the wiggle. Do the wiggle.
With that done, it's time to head back to the mountains and bring Chandler, the Chad, and easily my favorite Grumpus, and Snorpy, the paranoid conspiracist, back to Snacksburg. We got another new tool with the Snacks Grappler, which we used at first to help get Chandler's lost basketballs, and then the next thing he wanted were Cinesnails, as we could also launch over our trap to capture them and then grapple it back without an issue. So he gave him some probably very sticky legs, and while exploring I landed on this watchtower that had what looked to be a trophy inside. I was able to grapple it out, but after I did, it just kind of vanished. Then once I hopped down from the tower, I found this little donut dude that I wanted to capture. But once I pulled it down, it ran. Just dropped out of my vision completely. Back to the trophy though, turns out this is my last tool called the Trip Shot. Pretty much acts as a clothesline and completely stuns any creature that walks into it, allowing me to net them up. Easily the most useful utility you get. But back to the grapple, it could also be used to pull these marked stones to reveal new areas. And to help Chandler some more, we collected honeybees to give him some sticky hands to go with those sticky feet, which was enough to bring him back, but he wouldn't leave without Snorpy, so it's time to help him next.
Here, new chum, lean in close so that I may bestow a hug on you. Ah.
This is like disturbingly creepy.
What an excellent hugging experience that was.
We could use the Trip Shot to assist in capturing a Quickie so that Snorpy could have some Oreo teeth. We then needed some Charmellos, which is a great time to bring up that I hate capturing the flaming creatures, because putting the fire out can be such a task sometimes. But I can move back to the Bobsicles and attract them to each other to put it out for now, giving Snorpy some small legs and completing both of their favors, which was enough to bring them back to Snacksburg. Chandler was also the builder of this place, as we now had an actual house to join us and could then grab our interviews. How did you two become a thing?
I don't know what you mean, dog. We're like the sky and the sea. Been together since the dawn of time.
Why did you leave town?
Bro, Snacksburg was a disaster without Lizbert. I couldn't stop all the fighting with lifting or wisdom. I gotta keep things chill for Snorpy. He's got a lot of that social anxiety.
What happened to Lizbert and Eggabell?
I wish I could tell you. Those two were strong together. I can't think of anything that could take them down.
Are you mad? I can't have my secrets plastered all over the front page news.
What if your name wasn't attached?
I suppose I can reveal a tad bit, so long as my identity is protected.
Who are you?
I am Snorp Redacted. I have devoted my life to inventing devices that foil the machinations of the Grumpinati.
Dude, I love this game. How long have you and Redacted been in a relationship?
I mean, we've been together since kindergarten. It would make perfect sense if we were together. He's never said we are, has he?
Any info on Lizbert?
Elizabeth Megafig was a curious sort, and hadn't a foolish bone in her body. She could rival me in wits, and Redacted. Low in arm wrestling. We would share secrets now and again. Dreadful, terrible secrets.
What terrible secrets?
I'm not telling you the terrible secrets because they are terrible and secret.
I think we're done here.
Excellent interrogation, chum. So great that you deserve another hugging experience. This must not go on the record. Elizabeth Megafig discovered something on the island and came to me for help. An entrance to the underground, locked behind a strange device. I assisted her in unraveling its secrets, and soon after, she vanished. You must take extreme caution. I can tell you where to find it, but the rest is up to you.
God damn. And with the interviews finished up, we got a new clue about Lizbert's whereabouts from Snorpy, and another key from Chandlo.
Maybe you should turn in early today and just relax.
Good idea. Alright, break time.
Africa, Gramble, what happened?
We saw something real spooky walk right into town.
I thought it was a grumpus at first, but like something about it was wrong.
It looked kind of normal until it... until it...
It turned into a bunch of bug snacks and like scattered.
Frankly, I find that hard to swallow.
What a load, Beth. Not enough drama around town for you lately, huh?
Zonk off, Cromdo. Unlike you, I don't lie for a living.
Oh, wow. So tell me then, what were you doing skulking around at midnight? Breaking into huts? Again?
I seen it too. And this time I know it's not just one of my nightmares.
Get some grumpin' sleep, Gramble.
I can't! Not with all of y'all around here with your hungry mouths.
Don't take this the wrong way, darling, but you are a bit high-strung. A little beauty sleep would do you wonders.
Maybe then you'd finally let us eat a few pets.
You say that again! Oh, get off me!
We had to go around and scan some hidden clues like some random footprints on the ground. But the main thing was a threatening message on the other side of the sign reading "No more bug snacks."
Well, what did you find?
Something left a deadly message behind.
Well, that's... I reckon there's got to be some other explanation.
Cram it, Wampo. We got a genuine monster on our paws.
Monster's a bit of a prejudicial term, don't you think? I'd call it more of a cryptid or undiscovered animal.
It's no animal, darling. We're witnessing the queen of bug snacks in action. She's given us a warning!
Oh, that is absurd. Which is more likely, that a so far unseen giant bug snack politely left a note on our door, or that this is some form of coordinated gaslighting by the Grumpinut?
What's more likely, dear, is that you've watched far too many movies.
But at least my theory has scientific data behind it, whereas you haven't even drawn one chart.
I was top of the charts, thank you.
Whoa. You know what? Let's split the difference, huh? You're both wrong.
What does it even matter? Whatever it is, it wants us dead.
Between this and the earthquakes, Snacksburg's becoming pretty unlivable.
I hate to say it, bro, but I regret coming down from the mountain. Me and Snorpy were a lot safer before we came back.
Same goes for me and my little ones.
No. We shouldn't split up again. We're better off if we're all here together.
That might have been true when Lisbeth was around, but those days are long gone.
You don't know that. She might come back.
Don't hold your breath, pal.
Face it, Filbo. Without Lisbert, all we have is you.
That's not true.
That's not very nice.
I don't know why Lisbert put me in charge, but I do know this. None of you were really happy out there alone. We don't have Lisbert, but we have each other. Maybe if we try, we could all add up to one of her.
I guess you're not wrong.
So, we're all staying in town then?
Seems like it, as long as we can watch each other's backs.
If we're gonna make it, we need everybody here. Floofty and Shelda are still out there, and who knows if they're safe.
If you must find Floofty, according to the tracking device I placed on them, they're out by Boiling Bay.
And last time I saw Shelda, she was meditating in the sizzling sands. But don't forget about Eggabell. If she's not with Lisbert, we gotta find her.
We will, Chandlo. And once we do, we'll throw a big welcome back party. How does that sound?
Okay.
Great! Now, let's go get some sleep.
And with a new area now unlocked, we could head over to Boiling Bay and pick up this next clue that connected to this map from before, which was the second part of this torn clue that we found to finish up the puzzle. And after could become reacquainted with this anonymous grumpus from before named Floofty. They wanted a Banopper which just flies around from tree to tree. We could get an easy knockout with the right angle, but kinda just forgot that lava is bad for you, and then set myself on fire. But we did manage to capture it and transform Floofty's foot, when I then noticed that we needed to transform their hand instead. So we got another one and got that arm into a red banana. After we got an upgrade to the Snackavator, as it can now remember what snacks someone has eaten, allowing you to change their body parts with past snacks. And with them being a mad scientist, they even sacrificed their own leg to see if Bugsnax could go as far to replace a lost limb. The next task was in need of Cocoa Mites, which we could open up by having a Bopsicle charging into them, and then just picking them up with our trip shot, as they wanted all 4 of their limbs turned into some big old Cocoa Mites. The next up we need some Noodlers, which can be pretty rough as they are on fire and really do not like your traps. Yet there is a Bopsicle that we can lead over to it for some help, and then give Floofty all their different limbs with a Noodler, Strabby, Banopper, and Cocoa Mites. And that's all we needed for Floofty to come back to Snacksburg, which is also about the time we started getting into some funky looking transformations in this game. But now we could open a chest in Lizbert's home with a key from Chandlo and watch Video Diary 3, which was just about Eggabell working to be more independent and stronger, and also have Diary number 4. And video number 4.
Okay, let her fly, and I'll show you my incredible aim. Just try not to hit Bilbo again.
When you're finished with your amusements, come see me. We have work to do.
Get out of here, Floofty. You're ruining my shot. What's wrong?
There's something off about that Grumpus.
Floofty's not so bad. They're just passionate about science. Sure, science. I heard about their experiments, messing with your body. It's weird.
What's weird about it?
I mean, look at you. How many Bugsnax have you had?
Hey, in my professional medical opinion, I am perfectly healthy. We're all eating Bugsnax, and we're all fine, so why are you getting on my case?
I'm just worried, Bill. You're not acting like yourself.
You mean I'm not miserable? I found a way to make myself useful and happy, to finally take some control over my life. And you're just upset because it doesn't involve you!
I'm not upset. If you don't need me anymore, that's great. Go be with Floofty.
Maybe I will.
Well then. After seeing what Eggabell and Lizbert's argument turned out to be, it was now time to interview Floofty. Who are you?
I am Floofty Fizzlebean, the world's first gastroentomologist.
What is a gastroentomologist exactly?
In baby language, I study Bugsnax and their effect on grumpuses.
Any info on Lizbert?
The truth. Elizabeth was an arrogant coward, unlike Eggabell.
We got another key once I finished up, but with nothing else to really do, I decided to help Triffany with some side quests. She needed another fun little snack with the Pinkle, the jar of pickles, which pretty much just blended in with the rest of her body anyways. There's also a new sauce we could collect with ranch, before finishing up helping Triffany by scanning some of the statues scattered about. And with that already finished up, I moved on to Chandlo, who wanted to get stronger by eating Bugsnax. And while looking for the last one he wanted, it turns out he actually repaired Chromdo's bridge out on the desert, as we could now make it to the Sizzling Sands, where we quickly found the recurring creature Mozza Supreme, and also found Shelda, as I decided to bring her back to Snacksburg as well. Finding inner peace and being cleared of all temptation, she did not eat the snacks, but instead she wanted some cheese sauce for her hunger. While looking, I found another rock barrier that we could smack open with a nearby snack, and then hop down into it, as it just kind of turned out to be some underground ruins. But when coming out, I was able to find the cheese sauce and give it to Shelda for our next favor, which was quite literally just to crack open some Eggler shells and nothing else. And then heading back into the ruins, we could use Sprout to lead around a black Raspy and bring it outside as well. I don't understand, why did I do any of that?
It was a metaphor. Now to Snacksburg goes me.
While donating more snacks to Gramble, I ended up reaching the max amount of donations, and then went back to help Chandler with his strength training. Another minigame was up, as we needed to drop some weights onto Chandlo as he ran around the course. The timing was a little awkward, but once I figured it out, we were able to drop all 5 weights easily. And all this training was so he could become strong enough to remove a stump that was blocking his basketball hoop. But with no luck yet, it was time to find an even bigger, stronger Bugsnax. He led us over to some massive doors to reveal on the other side one big watermelon. And believe it or not, this is our first boss fight. But I don't have a health bar or a timer or anything like that, so there isn't much of a threat behind it. It did take a while to figure out what I had to do, but when you trap these little seeds, the Mama May one will try to free them and charge into these statues, stunning herself. From there, we could pull down some stalactites to damage it, and we kept on doing that until it dropped its outer shell. And with some assistance from Chandler, we were able to bait it under the last stalactite and defeat our first boss, as it was now small and weak enough for us to scoop it up and feed it to Chandler, giving him some watermelon teeth. Just to go back to Snacksburg and find out that Snorpy has already removed the stump with one of his own contraptions. I did have a lot of captured seeds from the fight though, and not wanting to just waste them, I fed them all to Chrome Dough, as he became our first fully transformed Grumpus. And then right after, remember to interview Shelda. Any info on Lizbert?
She, the huntress, is gone from us, strayed from the mother's path, chasing the healer's tainted love. Thrice were they warned, so this once you shall be warned. A doom befalls those who consume the toxin.
Afterwards, Shelda ended up giving us a lockbox that she found, and we could open it up with the key Fluty gave us for another video diary.
Today is the day I, Elizabeth Megafig, solved the greatest mystery of this island. I found a door with a frosted peak. What could be behind it, I wonder. Wait for me, Liz! Bill, what are you doing out here?
Following you.
Did you want to come with me?
I thought it might be fun to hunt Bugsnax together. If that's alright with you.
That'd be amazing. But maybe not today. This peak isn't for beginners.
I've been practicing. I got Chandler to show me the ropes, bro.
Very impressive. I didn't know you were working out.
I guess it's hard to see my muscles under the Bugsnax.
You really are changing, Bill. I'm sorry I was being so selfish.
It's okay. I don't want apologies, worrying, any of it. I just want us to be together. And to see how much you're exaggerating about your dangerous work.
Oh, really? Think it'll be a walk in the park, huh?
That's right. And I bet I can even catch more Bugsnax than you.
Woohoo! You're on. Be careful.
So I'm guessing what happened is we saw their argument, which is what everyone is talking about, and then they went to this mountain, and then their disappearance, they just haven't come back yet. Alright, so we're putting it together after watching every part of the story. With the story unraveling itself little by little, I went to help Wiggle by catching a Sandopede, which was now our 50th species caught, and the subway body parts are also some pretty funny looking ones. But a huge find is that the map can be used to fast travel to any of the other regions, which became extremely useful in saving time. And when looking for Wiggle's next snack, there's another bunger found wearing Triffany's hat, so I made sure to scoop it up just to see what it was. And when the Grumpuses have their heads transformed and lose their hats, there's a chance we can find Bugsnax wearing them instead. There's even a board to help us collect them if they happen to be out there in the wild. But I could finish up with Wiggle, as it felt like a good time to continue with the main story. So we made it to the last area of the game with the Frosted Peak, and while exploring even managed to find another Grumpus with Eggabell. Egbert! Eggabell.
You shouldn't be here. It's not safe. You need to get off this mountain for the sake of your health and well-being. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
What are you doing up here?
Surviving.
Why is it dangerous?
Another earthquake strikes. It'll cause an avalanche. If you're up here when that happens, you'll be buried in snow. And if you don't die from blunt force trauma, you'll asphyxiate.
We come back to Snacksburg.
No. Not until I find Liz.
I'll find Liz. What happened to Lizbert?
We were exploring the mountain. There was an earthquake, and we got separated.
How can I
Just
help?
Go back home, okay? Be safe.
No.
And please, don't tell anybody I'm up here.
and that is now every Grumpus interviewed. We could keep on following her once she left, which led us to a pretty big locked door that she couldn't figure out. But turns out this is the same puzzle that all of our clues are going on about. So we handed her Lizbert's journal pages, as the first thing we had to do was activate the snack related statue with their correlating snack. So I collected a Mount Sodi, a Scoopy, and a Chippy, which is all we needed as it was time for the pressure plates. Although we needed a third person to join, so we recruited Filbo as we did the pressure plates as the instructions said to, with left, right, center, which somehow didn't work as it was expected to, so it was instead time to just call it quits as Eggabo decided to come back to Snacksburg, bringing back each Grumpus like I said I would. And next up is just a whole lot of side quests, and you'll see why soon enough. We started by planting some more snacks for Wambus that should hopefully help all of his other snacks grow. Fed Beffica 3 Grumpy Snack Pods. Donated easily my favorite named Bugsnax with the Scoopy Banoopy to Gramble, which only ended very badly. Beffica then wanted some dirt on Chandlo, but he's just so perfect that Beffica dressed up as him to get it out of Snorpy. And because Chandlo is the best Grumpus there was just no dirt on him. And once more we had to help Wiggle find her musical inspirations. I don't think Bugsnax can understand you.
Don't give me that. Music is a universal language, darling. Come to me, my muse of the sea. My mouth is your destination, and wiggle, here's your destiny.
After her groove, we had another boss on our hands with the Mega Maki. The arena had a bunch of pillars around that we could connect our trip shot to capture all of the pieces from it within the given time, until he was nothing more than just a lone serpent head. And defeating it to Wiggle, we could fully transform her as well, but it still was not enough inspiration for her songs. Triffany was up next on the list to become full snack as we skinned her alive and helped her next. We scanned a chest on the beach, gave her a popsicle. We went all the way back to the frosted peak and then all the way up the mountain as well as to examine some bones that could possibly be her grandma's. But with further research, there was no relationship between them. And then after that, it seemed like a good idea to start the main story stuff again. But when we were about to, we got a message that we won't be able to do anything once we start. So not wanting to make a whole new save, we were going to be doing everything before continuing the main story. Heading out to the desert, we needed a Buffalo Kiss, which was another weird flaming one. But with it, Chromdo wanted to trade it to Triffany for a whole treasure map. So when that obviously failed, I had to instead sneak inside of their house and nab the map for myself. I purged a popsicle in Shelda's box, as it's now time to get rich with Chromdo. Heading back to the desert is pretty obviously time for another boss fight with the pizza. I could drop the pizza cutter onto some box, which revealed a hot pocket of all things. One that could be used to blow up a platform in our way so that we could throw down our launch pad to get this fight started. All the hot pockets around us could be used as ammunition on the pad to explode the matzo out of the sky and decimate it with the pizza cutters. Although the last phase had some pretty intense twisters that not even the hot pockets could make their way around. So we instead had to throw the pocket down at the bottom of the twister and let it make its way up as we took our final hit on the beast and claimed it as our own, as I kinda reluctantly fed it off to Chromdo as well.
How you doing, dog?
Beffica, to what do I owe the dishonor?
Cut the grump, Cromdo. You're gonna give me a piece of that pie.
And why would I do that?
Maybe you're feeling generous. Or maybe you don't want Wambus to see all these pictures of you stealing Triffany's stuff.
You sneaky little grump! You give me those pictures right now, or I'll...
Oh, Wambus!
All right. Shh. You win. Take him, Beth. Hand yours over, pal.
Oh, no need. I'd never sell out my bestie.
After the generous save, Wambus was next to become snack, as we also had a combo Grumpus with a Bunger, Frighter, and Sodi in his body. Fluty was next on the list to be helped, as she wanted some volunteers for her next experiment, but every single Grumpus very understandably denied them from being studied on in a very unethical way. We also found out that Shelda, regardless of what she says, does eat Bugsnax, but only the ones that we put in her box. But we jumped back to the beach to grab some some more snacks and fully transformed Floofty, as they wanted to see if something as far as decapitation could be recoverable with the use of Bugsnax. Yet before the stall touched down, the experiment was stopped by Snorpy, as for the first time Floofty took the blame for going too far with these tests. We then dropped off a Cheezer, Green Peelbug, and Intraptor Shelda's box, then fully transformed Filbo and Bethica next. It's like almost exactly the same. Oh my god, we got so close. Next was a Scoopy Banoopy captured for Snorpy's now oddly shaped nose, and then found out a super useful tool in that the strip shot can transfer fire if placed onto it. So we lit all of the torches that were around, then lit this very inconspicuous birthday candle to start the next boss fight, where we had to light the candles on the cake. It could be a little weird to hit as the boss moves very fast, yet after a few moments we had it defeated as we had dealt with every single boss now and also fed it off to Snorpy.
Oh yeah! I always wanted to have a beach party. Need me to sunscreen your back, Snorp Dog?
No need, Chandlo. I'm well protected. I can tolerate the horrible sun for at least a few minutes.
You sure? I could check if you missed a spot.
Best to keep our wits about us. This seismic event could happen any moment. Oh.
Yeah, first earthquake.
Bro, what was that? They're not usually this intense.
An anomaly, to be sure, but it ended surprisingly quick. Oh.
That's not a whole island?
It's a new island, dog! We gotta go over there!
So we prepared for the exploration of a new island, recruiting Triffany and Floofty, but we couldn't get Shelda in without finishing up her quest first. So I donated her a Sprinklepede, Peletos, and a Flapjackerack to the box, and after talking to her, we finished each and every main side quest, and could get her to join us now, as we were ready to sail off to Broken Tooth Island. There were some puzzles we had to solve, like lighting multiple torches with our trip shot, or going through some mazes, which opened up more areas, like exploring the main massive area with the temple that's inhabited by huge Bugsnax. Of course, Chanlo instantly wanted to eat one of these guys, so I tried out over reliable with the trip shot, which doesn't even phase them. But while running, I found some vases, and throwing one at them, we could cover it in some shrinking powder, as it was now a normal size and could be easily captured. Now, while this area of the game wasn't too bad to play, there was just so much dialogue, meaning one conversation would just go on for minutes. But the main thing is that everyone wants to investigate something as we start our help with Chanlo. While looking around, I sent Sprout into another hole to see what would come out as a massive Ched orb came crashing through to open up more of the area. The first thing Chanlo wanted was a Klopscheroni. There's some more torches that we could light up to open another area with the shrinking powder, although getting over wasn't just a simple jump, as we instead needed to pull over the Klopscher and use the trampoline to hop over and turn him into a manageable size for an easy capture and feeding him away. The next request was to just chill and take some relaxing time. Although I personally don't know how relaxing it is to get absolutely washed in basketball, but the last request was a Pylobite. But because of its protective covering, we couldn't shrink it down until we started pulling off the tabs, until eventually completely exposing it. And with the shell off, we had to find another vase to throw at it that was close enough. I did find an extendable bridge right by it, but I could not figure out how to spread the fire, as this trampoline was also getting really confusing. I tried to use a nearby Celesticks as a bridge too, but that didn't work all too well. And the reason I can't use the trip shot is because it connects with a plunger, so I can only connect to smooth surfaces, as grass or sand wasn't accessible. I then tried using my launch pad as a platform before accidentally launching the trip shot into the fire, and could then just shoot it from there to drop the bridge. A very happy accident. And now I could shrink down the Bugsnax for collection and do the same thing to the Celesticks that was also needed to be fed off to Chanlo. And once that was done, there were 3 very long conversations with Shelda, Triffany, and Floofty, but that was all the investigation Chanlo needed as we then moved on to Shelda. The first thing she wanted was for us to open up her pathway to one of the shrinking vases so that she could inspect the statues that accommodate them. We then needed to crack some much larger eggs, which were still pretty easy to find, and then just throw them into this little spoon smacker. And next wanted a Tikada massage masala. Drinking it down was the easy part, but again, it's a flaming snack. So I brought it over to a Melly Mochi to put its flame out to capture it to go into Shelda's box. And then after a conversation with Floofty, we were now all done with Shelda as well, as next up is Floofty. They wanted to study the powder around the island, so I grabbed a vase, jumped over with the launch pads, and threw it into the bin. But because the powder doesn't last long when it's removed from its place, the subject wasn't examinable. So we hopped back over with some more powder and just threw it straight at Floofty, which definitely bypassed all the safety precautions. So next was time to capture a Chedorb, which I already had, and a Melly Mochi, which was being weird as we again needed to defrost it so I wouldn't freeze. But for some reason the Tikida would just get stunned and its fire would go out, but the Mochi would still be frozen. It did eventually work as we fed the two to Floofty to see if the new body parts were more examinable, but with still no luck. So our next capture was a Chocolate because they are naturally smaller creatures, with this time finally being a viable test subject. And after another conversation with Shelda, that was the end of Floofty's investigation, as it was time for the last one with Triffany's. We had to scan some ancient tombs, open up another doorway, and probably do the hardest maze here, as timing the spinning of the gear with the extension of the platform was killing me way more than it should have. And that was about it. Solving the maze brought us to a blocked off door, and with no way in, that was all the Triffany's exploration. Yet while at camp that night, Triffany watched as everyone put aside their differences and began warming up to each other more. So instead we had to try and clear the path once more with the power of friendship, and also the power of one massive sprout who could easily just smash its way through any wall blocking us off. As we made it to the last room, as it's time for the next boss fight, it would throw a bunch of Chedorbs at us that we could bait into some catapults and then launch back into it. It did get a little confusing as the catapults became covered up in stone. I thought we could break the stones by letting him throw more stuff at them, but what I'm actually meant to do is shrink down the Chedorbs as they seek shelter inside of the rocks, and once they grow big again, they'll be opened back up to be launched out, as Big Sprout soon rejoined us, letting us lead him through the last giant maze for one more attack on the boss to break away its protective shell, allowing us to shrink it down and scoop it up for Chandler to eat as we finally finished Broken Tooth Island and could head back to Snack Tooth. As now it's time to blast through some achievements so that we can continue with the main game. Grabbing our last snack pod allows us to clear an entire area of all the pods. We then fully snack Snorpy, transform Shelda, who probably had my favorite in-game design, made Gramble eat a snack, and could finish transforming everybody with Gramble as our last one. Waited to capture up an Eggler, we got 100 different species marked down, then started going for all the hats. We got the Jester's hat on a Chippy. Honestly, no idea how I even saw a hat on the Shishka bug that turned out to be Shelda's hat. Got a bucket hat on a Queeble, Lizbert's hat on a Bunger, a straw hat on a Honeybee, graduation cap on a Lolive, top hat on the Sodi, and then struggled the most here as this Sodi right here apparently has a damn pirate hat on its head. And then Gramble's hat was on a Frider, as we'd get the achievement for finding all 10 once we went back to Snacksburg. There was a puzzle inside the volcano that had to be solved by pushing down some of these statues. Yet it seemed kinda random and there wasn't really any clues that we've picked up on this yet. But I very quickly noticed that this statue has a load of tusks on it, and so that they all have 1 to 4 on them. And you just have to push them down in order to solve the puzzle, which is just another entrance to the Sizzling Sands. We then needed to find this guy again, the Snack Squatch. I was expecting this to be super hard and extremely time consuming, but they apparently spawn in set locations and can be done really easily in the gorge. By constantly sleeping and resetting the days, we found it again 30 seconds later to scan it. We then grabbed a Scoopy and Banopper to make someone into an ice cream sundae, and then connecting the trip shot to Sprout, we could clothesline a Bunger before really hitting a snag. So we have to cheese someone with the slingshot and then scan them. Sounds pretty easy, but there's 2 problems. You can't pull out your slingshot while in Snacksburg, and on top of that, I have done every single side quest, so I can't pull anyone else out of Snacksburg. So it seems I kind of soft locked myself out of this achievement and need new save for this one. My next snag was needing to fully decorate my home. I've already gotten all of the decorations for all of the side quests, but I still needed to get more by doing the side quests. And I did a lot of them. We grabbed a real interview with Eggabell, angered a weenie worm with ketchup and scanned it, fed a Grumpus all 4 types of peel bugs, put a Sherby in the box, scanned a honeybee with a basketball stuck to it, put a green Crabble into the box, with a Raspberry soon to join, let a Scooby Banoopy knock me off of a ledge, fed someone all 4 sody flavors, ran around on fire for 30 seconds straight, scanned a Crabble holding onto another Crabble, jumped from the top of the peak all the way down to the bottom, put a Score Pepper in the box, needed to catch 5 snack pods in under 30 seconds, which was easy enough once we got our pathing planned out, fed someone all 8 snack pod types, put a loaded Spuddy in the box, scanned a flaming barbecue bunger, which was enough quests done for the second floor to be added, captured every creature in Flavor Falls, found a lost item for Filbo, Wambus, Triffany, and Chrome Dough, found a Cinnasnail and Sprinkle Pea to mix someone with some breakfast items, scanned a Lolive that was holding onto a Sandopede, needed to capture 5 Bugsnax in under 30 seconds, which was easy enough at the beach, feed one person 25 Bugsnax in total, find Chandler's lost item, and then the worst one yet, catching 3 snacks at once. I started on the beach as we can get 2 snacks to come out of this cave with a Peel Bug and Raspy, and then just baited over another Raspy, and bam, that was 3 snacks trapped and captured. But they needed to be 3 different snacks, so 2 Raspberries wasn't working. I tried adding a Crabble to the mix, but it would not stop stealing the trap away. Then swapped to a Queeble instead, as it would just fling the trap around this time. I went off to the gorge to try a Spud, Bunger, and Weenie Worm, but this was just some lost hope. So I tried the Celestics, Pie, and Ants, as they're all in the same spot, but getting them to join the same vicinity before growing up again was just impossible. So I went back to the beach to try again, and having some patience and really good timing, I could catch a Peel Bug, Raspy, and Crabble all at the same time. I could then feed an Instabug to Beffica, put up some posters for Chrome Dough, donate a cherry to Gramble, feed Chanlo a Baja to Croach, feed Snorpy an Aggroll, pick up all of Chrome Dough's posters that started to litter around the ground, catch 10 Bugsnax in 90 seconds, which was pretty easy with all the melon seeds to start, the snack pods we already had routed, and then the Sandopede to finish up the rest. We donated a Cob Hopper to Gramble, fed someone all 4 Sweetie Fly variants, grabbed Snorpy's lost item, fed a Hot Cheap Poof to Chrome Dough, a Caramel Pop Tick to Wambus, find Floofty's lost item, and then finally collect Shelda's lost item to get what we needed after 3 hours to fully decorate our house. And now we could finally continue with the main story. Bilbo wanted to throw another party now that everyone was back, as we had to get everyone on the dance floor. Floofty was keeping Snorpy busy as he wanted to talk to Chanlo. All we needed to do was talk to Filbo to get him to join, and then put on Vefica's favorite song for her to join. Wambus wanted to apologize to Gramble first, but needed some liquid courage, and after trading some words, they both joined up the dance floor. Wiggles needed to clear her throat to sing. Triffany would rather just talk science than dance, so we brought her over to Floofty to free up Snorpy. Chromto just needed to be talked to join. I could throw a cup at the confetti ball above Shelda to get her in, and now Snorpy and Chandler could become officially official as they both went in to join the party.
We did it, buddy. We're all together again. Well,
how do we beat the game? That's what I'm curious about.
You still need to interview Lisbeth, right? So
our end is nigh.
What? End? Well, is that a metaphor or? Gotta move now! Hey! Don't give up yet. We may not have homes or snacks, but we have each other. I know it's pretty scary right now, but we can't fall apart every single time something bad happens. We have to stick together.
Well said, Filbo.
Oh.
Eggabro, you're all right.
I just need Filbo and, Filbo's buddy. Sorry, Chanlo.
Oh man, I still can't pull up my thing. Okay, please say I can pull up my slingshot whenever we leave. If not, that's gonna suck. We have to like completely restart. Okay. I have no cheese! Oh, you're kidding! You're kidding! Oh my god, that's so unfortunate. And I can't get any here. Can I fast travel real quick? I can't. Let's see, I can't fast travel. Maybe I can run back. Oh, I can't. Oh my god.
Alright, we're here. How do we get this thing open, Eggabell?
Turns out she wrote the order backwards. I guess even the great Elizabeth Megafig can still make mistakes.
Well, nobody's perfect, right? Okay, I'm ready when you are.
We're coming, Liz. 1, 2, 3!
Frick yeah. The undersnacks. Oh, not myself. Any cheese I can pick up by chance. This reminds me of just got to do a chance of meatball. Who was that?
Ah, what is this thing? Help! Oh, thanks, buddy. Is Eggabell with you? I don't know how we all got separated.
We got big. I haven't seen her.
You found me pretty quick. I'm sure she's not far.
How did you fall so far away from each other? Okay, well, that scared me.
Let them through.
Lisbeth. She's alive!
Oh, Lisbeth! It's you! You're alive!
You have to get out of here. You have to gather up the others and get off the island.
Can you answer a few questions then?
Are you seriously trying to interview me right now?
I didn't come all this way for nothing.
I regret inviting you. You came here to interview Elizabeth Megafig? Fine. Keep it quick.
What is this place?
This is the island's true form. It's Bugsnax all the way down.
That's kind of amazing.
It's disgusting once you understand what Bugsnax really are.
What are Bugsnax really?
They're parasites. They get inside you and they change you. Your body and your mind. They make you want them. And before you know it, you become them.
Who would want to turn into a Bugsnax?
It's not that simple. They're insidious. Patient. You'll show them a weakness, and they'll exploit it.
What happened to you?
After I saved Eggabell, I fell into this place. Before I knew what was happening, I was swarmed. Bugsnax were crawling down my throat. They tried to erase me, to make me into them.
That's horrible.
I almost lost myself. But somehow I pushed back. I made them into me.
So the Bugsnax are under control?
No. The Bugsnax are in a frenzy. They have been since we came here. They're so ravenous that they're shaking the ground apart. I'm the only thing keeping this island together right now.
Ooh.
See? That wasn't so hard, right?
It worked! Eggabell, you beautiful genius! It's time to get moving.
Come on, Bilbo!
Get back to Snacksburg!
We're going to have to take a bit of a shortcut.
Shit! Oh, I'm back here again. I'm completely restarting again. Oh my god, wait, no, this is like exactly like the start.
Snorpy! There they are. Where in Grump's name have you two been?
I'll explain later. The Bugsnax are coming to wipe us out. We gotta get off this island now.
I suspected as much. Luckily, the balloon is almost ready to take flight.
Oh, god.
Take this device and clear a path for us, please.
ever.
Run, guys! Please!
I gave it my best.
Okay, we're all here. Though I think the balloon needs another minute.
Oh, no way.
Never mind. We gotta get on board now. Come on. We're not gonna make it.
Goodbye, guys. I think I spoke 2 words to the both of y'all. Hey, you landed. Nice. Main story of Bugsnax.
Hey, buddy. Are you ready to go?
Yep. I guess it's time.
All right, everybody. We should head out. I hate leaving it like this. Liz and Egg, what if they're still out there?
Liz and Egg can take care of themselves.
Yeah. If anybody can survive in that terrible place, it's them.
You can't be thinking of going back.
Oh, you're right. Nobody should ever set foot on Snacktooth Island again.
We have to move on.
I know. I can't go wallowing in regret now. We're barely even out of the woods. It's gonna take a while for the Bugsnax to wear off on us. I can't go back home like this, so is it alright if I stay with you for a while? I can help you with your story. Maybe figure out which parts to tell, or...
Yes! I love you, Philbo. That sounds good, Philbo.
Great. Let's go.
I have to admit, you got guts. Tracking down Elizabeth inside an erupting volcano? It's compelling, dramatic, sensational.
Yeah, too bad. I hate to think that we went through all that for nothing, so, I hope you can spread the truth about Snacktooth before anybody else gets hurt.
Don't worry, GNN specializes in painful truths. And speaking of, you're fired.
Alright, time to make a whole new save.
I sent them away.
Do they suspect anything?
Hard to say. Could be they're idiots. Could be they know the truth and they're keeping it quiet.
Very well. We will have to keep our eye on them. Tu quid edas.
Omne vivamex Bugsnax.
It's a Grumpinati. But for now, it was time to restart for our last achievement, as I really needed to start progressing through the game again. But an amazing Twitch viewer informed me that your old save actually starts before the party scene. So I could grab some cheese this time and go through the whole party as we made it up the mountain again.
Hey, Eggabell, after we get Lizbert, are you two...
Yay, we're
I
done!
don't know. I'm starting to like sleeping on
It's actually pretty fun. And that is how I 100%ed Bugsnax. A super fun and honestly super funny game. I always love playing games I had never heard of before just to have a super good time. But if you did end up watching all the way through, I really appreciate you joining me here. If you enjoyed again, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe as they really help. And if you would like more, don't forget to check out my other videos. And my Twitch and Discord will be in the description. I hope that you all have an incredible day.